Hello, welcome to the WP Builds Contribute episode. Today from Philadelphia, I have Branden Tolle. Hi there, Branden.
Hello.
Branden and I have been on the line, and he's built something which I think is really cool. But first of all, I think we should get over the elephant in the room, which is what it's built for, because this is brilliant. I don't think this is available in the UK. I'm not even sure this would be legal in the UK. What's this website that we're looking at, Branden? Tell us about it.
Yeah, okay. So this client does axe throwing. It's kind of
Yeah.
like darts for axes. And it's kind of a adult-oriented thing. So they have alcohol and sharp objects being thrown. Good.
What could possibly go wrong? So
Yeah,
is it a bit like archery? You stand, you get your own little lane, and there's a target at the end, and you literally toss axes at a big target.
Yep, that's exactly it. Except it's a little bit of a competition. So you kind of have two people that go head to head, and best of so many throws. There's points associated with each ring, and you try to win.
I imagine these businesses have quite high overheads in new targets that they have to replace every couple of hours. Anyway, so is this a client site of yours that we're looking at?
It is, yeah.
Yep. So the reason that Branden's come on today is because he's got a really interesting take on how to create a gift card using Zapier or Zapier, depending on how you pronounce it. I'm going to say Zapier just because that's the way I do. So yeah, do you want to just sort of run through what it is, how it works, why you want to do it, and so on, and that you maybe highlight the blog post that you've got as well that you've created around this?
Sure. Okay. So the idea was that the client wanted an e-gift card to sell on their site. So, and I wanted a system that could do it for them and just record the gift card in a Google spreadsheet. And the reason is because they just weren't super familiar with the WordPress backend. So I knew that I could do that through Gravity Forms if I could just generate a gift card code. So kind of here's the form, and the secret sauce is all in the form setup. So it's pretty much a regular form for the most part. The two things that are different is that I have a little conditional checkbox here. If it's checked, then these two fields disappear through conditional logic.
Okay.
Rather, this field disappears through conditional logic. So
yep.
This is the recipient email. So if this is checked, then they want the email to be sent to them. So this disappears, and the email goes just to the purchaser.
Okay.
And the other secret sauce is in the gift card number. This is a hidden field, so that means that it's not going to be visible to the user on the front end, and it's populated dynamically. So what this means is that there's some PHP code each time the Gravity form loads that automatically populates this field into the gift card number. So let's take a look at that. Here we go. So this uses a Gravity form hook that's built in, and this little UUID here has to match that text over on.
Okay, so that bit at the end of that string needs to be the same as what's in the parameter field on the Gravity forms.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just how the Gravity form hook works.
Yep.
And basically all this does is the function creates a random string that's eight long, right? And then it does this loop. While it's not unique, it just keeps going through this loop. And what the loop does is it just does an SQL lookup in the Gravity Forms meta table and checks if the gift card code is unique. And if it is unique, then it just returns that field, and then that field is populated into the gift card number.
Okay, so it begins by generating a code, then it checks if it's unique, and then if it isn't, it does it again.
Yeah.
But on a character string of 8, you've got a pretty good chance it'll return true the first time, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, they aren't selling millions of gift cards.
No, no, axe throwing is probably not that popular.
Yeah. So, yep. And like I said, I have this, or I didn't say this, I guess. I have this code on a blog post. So I'll give you a link to that, and if anyone wants to copy this code, it'll just be over on the blog post, and you can copy
Thank
it.
you.
Just be sure to update the form ID and the field ID, and you can also update a prefix if you want. And
where do you, for those that don't know, how did you discover the ID of the form?
Oh, how did I discover this little code snippet, you mean?
No, the ID of 2 being the form ID.
Yeah. That's right here.
And there you go. That's what we needed to see. Great. So if you didn't know what your form ID was, it's there.
Right. And then the field ID would be this right here.
Yep.
So then the other thing I wanted to do with this is to populate the gift card number into a Google Sheet. And to do that, I use Zapier. So if you've never used Zapier, it's an automation SaaS platform. And the idea is that it sucks in data from all types of web apps, from Gravity Forms to, I don't know, Better Proposals or anything at all, pretty much, that integrates with it. And then it outputs that data into also pretty much anything at all. So I want to suck in the data from Gravity Forms and output the data into this gift card spreadsheet from Google. So to do that, I've just created a little Zap here, and the way the Zap works is that you just you have the trigger, and the trigger is Gravity Forms. So every time someone submits a Gravity Form, that triggers this Zap to run, and they give you a little webhook, and that webhook goes into your settings. So over on your Gravity Forms under Zapier, of course, you need the Zapier add-on to make this happen.
Is that is that like a developer add-on, or is it the middle tier? Or
I don't know. I have the full package.
Yeah, me too. So you kind of forget what's what.
Yeah. So So that's Zapier in the Zapier feed.
I can blank that out. If you like.
Okay, I was just about to ask. I didn't realize that.
Anyway, there's something hidden under there.
Right. Yeah. So you just add a new Zapier feed and pop in the webhook that Zapier gives you, and then if you submit a test submission to that Gravity form, it should show up here, and you'll get the data in. And then you can just add another little step that's the action. So what do you want to do with this data? And if you choose Google Sheets, it will ask you to like, what do you want to do with that Google Sheets? So in this case, I want to create a new spreadsheet row in an existing spreadsheet. So then you just connect your Google Sheets account, and here's where you can decide what bits of data go in what column. So you can just click here and connect the bits of data. So in this case, I've just found the gift card code right here, and you just click on that. It just populates right into that box. And so what this does is it just pulls in all the Gravity form data into all the columns. I should note that before you actually get to this step, when you're still here selecting Google Sheets, you actually want to create this Google Sheet first, and you want to put these labels on the column, because that's how Zapier pulls in this template. Otherwise it wouldn't know like how many columns you want to use.
Do you also need to submit the form once to get the kind of fake data that you're looking at there? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it actually starts with this every Gravity form Zap starts with this Bilbo Baggins thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
nice.
So it'll pull in some random data for you, but it doesn't quite always work the same way. So I always do a test submission.
And so if you just because I'm interested in this, if you submit the form, will Zapier use the most recent submission as the test data that you're looking at there?
Well, you have to click this little button, Get More Samples. So
Okay.
once you do that, then it'll start to try to pull in live samples. So I could go and submit one now, and it would
Got
create
it. Great.
everything.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yep. And that kind of depends on the trigger that you're using. Gravity Forms behaves a little bit differently than some other ones.
Okay.
Yeah, so then once it's all set up as a template, you can test this setup as well. And you just hit the send to Google Sheets. And this is not the same Google Sheet, but if it were, click that button, then it should just populate right into there.
Yeah. And in your experience, it works like 100% of the time. It's completely bulletproof, reliable. Yeah. That's always my fear of these third-party systems where you set it and forget it, that, something crucial gets lost along the way. But I think over time, Zapier has become so ubiquitous and everybody's using it. I think it would be known if there was bugs or data not being submitted.
Yeah, they also do a pretty good job of sending you alerts if things go wrong somehow.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing that I did with this is that when I first made this gift card system, of course, I should say that I connected Stripe here, if that wasn't obvious. Gravity Form has this Stripe add-on that lets you collect, payment. So obviously I connected Stripe so that people could pay here the amount that they wanted.
Okay.
Yeah, so the other thing, can't submit that yet. The other thing that I wanted to do is that after I created this form, and we've been working on this website for a while, we decided to add WooCommerce in order to handle the appointments through an appointments plugin. Previously, they were using a SaaS platform, but they wanted to switch to having everything in one dashboard. So then I just added some code to create a WooCommerce coupon from that entry. So it's also just using another Gravity Form hook. And this ID right here has to also match the form ID. And I just have a little custom code that looks up the coupon code. And this is the field ID for the coupon code. And this is the field ID for the amount that they choose. And then it just creates a coupon. This is kind of the standard little snippet for creating a WooCommerce coupon. And I will add this also to the blog post in case anyone wants to grab this snippet.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. So whenever someone checks out on this Gravity form for a gift card, that's automatically populated into the WooCommerce coupons, and then someone can book an appointment, and away they go.
So this axe throwing venue that you can go to initially, when you set it up without the WooCommerce, was that simply because they didn't have a need for all of that capability? They just wanted to have the Google Sheet open at their counter, and they would just manually check off, okay, you've got this coupon code printed out, or so on and so forth, and then they would just delete that row from the spreadsheet and so on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how it worked. That was my initial goal, to make it sort of as simple as possible, just to have something sitting in front of them in the brick and mortar store that they could easily manage, and they didn't have to log into a WordPress dashboard or anything. But their needs have changed a little bit.
Yeah. And now they want to see it as an actual WooCommerce coupon. Does the WooCommerce integration give them significant advantages of doing it this way? Is it just more automated?
Yeah, it's just more automated. So the big advantage is that someone can check out now online, because they book online.
Yes.
So previously they would have to, if someone wanted to use a gift card on their SaaS platform, they'd have to add it in as a discount code or something.
Right.
Because their SaaS platform didn't offer an API for that.
But it's fascinating, though, that you can take a Gravity form and then throw any of that data, especially unique data that you've created with the little bit of PHP there. You can generate something unique on a per submission basis, check that it is unique, and then throw it over to a Google Sheet. But of course, the Google Sheet could be anything. It could be any SaaS service. It could be, presumably, if you use Microsoft Office 365, the same thing could apply, and or just forward it to any other service, including email or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool. How long did it take?
I don't really know. A few hours. Actually, I found this part of the code as a snippet, and I linked to that original blog post to generate the unique ID. So most of this is actually from another blog post, and then I kind of just created a gift card system from it. So I didn't actually write this. So it didn't take that long.
Yeah, it's unique though, really interesting. And so if you're using Zapier, whatever, and you're hooking it up to things, maybe reach out, put some comments on the post, and let us know what you think. Branden, thank you for coming on and sharing your unique axe throwing coupon code generating script. That's fascinating. Yeah, thanks very much.
Thank you.